We kind of take the basic rules of our universe for granted, don't we? Gravity pulls us down, planets around. It seems so simple, right? But what if one of those fundamental laws was just completely different? What if the very force that anchors us to the ground played by a whole new set of geometric rules? So let's dive into that.
What if you woke up tomorrow and the force holding you to the ground had changed its shape? Suddenly, Earth's gravitational pull isn't round anymore, but square. It sounds absurd, I know, but by digging into this wild idea, we actually start to see just how elegant and maybe even inevitable our own reality is.
Okay, so here's the absolute core difference. In our world, the one we all live in, gravity pulls everything toward a single point, the center of the Earth. So down is always toward that center. Simple. But in this crazy square world, it's totally different. Gravity pulls you to the nearest flat plane. And that one tiny change, well, it has absolutely massive consequences.
All right, so to really wrap our heads around how bizarre the consequences would be, we first need to get a handle on the new rules of this very strange reality.
So, the concept is called cuboid physics. And the best way to think about it is like this. Instead of one central point yanking everything inward, a cube-shaped Earth would have 6 massive, flat planes of gravity. Each face of the cube is basically its own giant magnet, pulling everything straight towards it.
Now, if you happen to be standing right in the middle of one of the cube's 6 faces, say right where the Pacific Ocean used to be, things might feel deceptively normal. The pull is straight down, just like you're used to. Honestly, you might not even notice anything was wrong, at first anyway.
But the moment you start to move away from the center of that face, as you get closer to an edge or a corner, the direction of down starts to shift. The pull isn't straight down anymore. It becomes diagonal, literally pulling you sideways toward the center of the face you're on. And that is where things get truly disorienting. So what does this actually feel like for a person on a human scale? How would this bizarre new physics affect you just trying to, live your life?
And this really gets to the heart of it. The one constant we all share, the direction of down, would suddenly become a variable. Your own body would feel a different pull, a different direction of down, depending on your exact location on the planet.
Just try to picture your morning routine. You wake up, and just walking from the center of your bedroom to the corner makes you feel noticeably heavier. Then you go to pour coffee, but the stream doesn't fall straight down. It actually arcs sideways in the air. Trying to walk down the street? Forget it. It'd feel like you're on a perpetually tilted floor, with a constant, nagging pull to the side.
And look, this daily disorientation, it's just the beginning. On a planetary scale, the consequences of this new physics would be nothing short of catastrophic. The Earth as we know it would begin to violently tear itself apart. Think about this timeline. Within a single hour, the oceans would rush away from the edges and corners, creating unimaginable tsunamis. Within a day, tectonic plates would buckle under all this new stress, triggering constant massive earthquakes all over the globe. Over the next few centuries, entire mountain ranges would just crumble sideways. The planet would be in a state of total geological chaos for millions of years.
The forces involved here are just immense. Your own body weight would change drastically. If you weighed, say, 150 pounds at the center of a face, you'd feel like you weighed 180 pounds on an edge. And if you somehow made it to a corner, you'd feel a crushing 210 pounds. The corners of this world would be these insane, bone-crushing, high-gravity zones.
So after millions of years of all that chaos, a new, completely alien geography would emerge. You'd have 6 distinct, square-shaped oceans pooled on each face. The edges of the cube would become these enormous, dry mountain ranges where gravity is always pulling you at a weird angle. And the corners? They'd be the highest, most inhospitable places on the strange new Earth.
This entire chaotic scenario, believe it or not, leads us to a really beautiful realization. It actually reveals something profound about why our universe looks the way it does. Here's the key takeaway. Real gravity, our gravity, pulls equally in all directions, from a center of mass. So over billions of years, this consistent, universal pull naturally shapes matter into the most stable, most energy-efficient form possible. And what is that shape? A sphere. So when you put it all side by side, it's crystal clear, right? The laws in our universe lead to elegant, stable spheres. The hypothetical laws of square gravity create violent, unstable, cubic worlds. Our round Earth isn't an accident. It's an inevitable consequence of the fundamental laws of physics.
This whole thought experiment just goes to show how deeply we're shaped by the invisible pull of gravity. And it leaves us with a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? What other fundamental laws are out there, quietly sculpting our reality every single moment of every single day?